Hey there, folks. Thank you for joining us for this lab report for January 2022. I can't believe we're already in 2022, and by the time I'm making this video, Imbolc has already happened. And wow, spring is starting to come. The snows here in Utah are sadly lacking at this time. Maybe we'll have a few more weeks of winter, but it doesn't appear that way, which probably means another drought's on the way. First of all, January was rough for all of us here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. Nori and I, well, and Jared too, had some wellness issues. Jared's mom also passed. We ended up taking a lot of time off and then also kind of catching up and picking up slack for each other. So when I wasn't well, Nori and Jared would kick in. When Nori wasn't well, Jared and I would kick in. When Jared was away, Nori and I would kick in. It was just like constant rotations. Production was slowed massively. One thing that is really important to us here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy is that if we're having a bad day, we don't step into the laboratory at all. We don't try and make progress on things if we're not physically, emotionally, astrally, spiritually, causally in the highest vitality levels that we possibly can be, just because we want to deliver perfection or as close as we can possibly get to it, and anything less than that is subpar to us. So things were a little bit slower, but as soon as the end of January started to kick in, basically right after Burns Night, January 25th, we started to get our vitality back. We've been cooking with oil since then. A lot of projects are out the door. One thing I am extremely pleased to announce is that Dr. Tom Cowan will now be carrying Strophanthus seed Spagyric tincture, which I think they're calling a Strophanthus spagyric extract. It's going to be available at Human Heart, Cosmic Heart, at drtomcowan.com here very soon. The shipping for it actually goes out today, so they might have it on their website as early as next week, so keep an eye out for that. We also will be selling it, but we strongly suggest going there, buying it from them. Tom Cowan has pioneered the research in Strophanthus for such a long time that it's just, something that I think that you should really support for him and show appreciation. For those of you who don't know, Strophanthus is really awesome for the parasympathetic nervous system and for preventing heart disease. If you haven't read his book already, I strongly suggest doing it. Human Heart, Cosmic Heart is the name of that book, and it blew me away. I sat down one night to read it, tore through as much of it as possible, but I started it kind of late. Woke up the next morning before doing anything. I finished that book just because it kept my attention. He's a really great writer if you haven't read that book or any of his other ones, so that's a great one. Some other things that happened. The time away that we had because of wellness issues got us thinking about new structures and new things to do and stuff that we want to offer in 2022, and we are now official resellers of the SE5 systems. And even though you can, if you're interested in buying a broadcast only instrument or an SE5 or other things like this, you can definitely come to us right now. We can help you out. And a huge portion of the proceeds of the sale actually go to the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. So we're very pleased about that, but we will actually be offering specific education in how to use these and training in how to use them the way that I have used them over the past 4 years to help yourself and your family, your agricultural situation, different types of things like that. Once the new software is released, right now that it's currently scheduled for sometime in March or April of this year, but we heard the same thing last year. It was supposed to come out last year sometime, and I've been just postponing offering any sort of trainings until this new software comes out because I don't want to do twice the work. Don't want to teach on this system and then on the new software as well. So keep an eye out for that. We're shooting for March 21st, but it's entirely dependent upon that software being released. Nori, this is a double-edged sword. I'm kind of sad to see her stepping away from all of the roles that she's had here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. She still has a hand in things, of course, and still handles things, but very minimally. And she's opened up spaciousness to start taking on some of her own clients, especially coaching clients. She's one of the most talented trauma specialists that I've ever seen. She does somatic work and knows about the body-mind connection more than just about anybody, works with psychosomatics and hypnosis and lots of other types of integrated things like that. And she's just such a stellar coach, life coach, a body coach, like all of the different types of coaching that she does is so next level. To even call her a coach and lump her in with all of these other people that are doing coaching, to me, is actually a misnomer, but it's about the closest word that she has used herself that I would be able to use to get get the point across of what she's doing. So right now she's taking on some research clients, and once she gets an idea of what type of research she wants to do, ultimately her work will be integrated back into the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy, but for the time being, it's kind of freelance and just out there so that she can get some ideas on what it is that she's really passionate about exploring. Also, we want to put the word out for two new things. One is that we are hiring a new employee, but this person has to be very specific, and also their pay is going to be largely dependent upon their level of expertise. So we need somebody who knows how to distill essential oils, who can distill not only ethanol solvents and rectifications from pure wine material, and can also ferment pure wine material and other things like that, distill it out, to calcine, to everything, and from very small batches all the way on to very huge batches, who's very familiar and comfortable with laboratory operations. That's what we need, and they need to be very strong. We have about 235 pounds that need to be lifted regularly. Some of that's just in bulk materials, some of that is in the size of things that we're distilling. So it's a very particular person, and we're in no rush to get this individual, but if you or somebody you know would like to apply for this, please go ahead and send a curriculum vitae with everything about you throughout your whole life, basically, and your interests and why you would be interested in a position like that to norianna at phoenixaurelius.org. She'll screen the applicants and see if anybody just preliminarily seems to be a good fit, and if so, she'll pass them on to me, and then we can schedule an interview, decide what salary or pay grade is going to look like, and what all is involved, and so on and so forth, and we'll just kind of go from there. So it's wildly open. And those with the most experience will obviously have a much higher pay grade than those who don't, but we will take the perfect applicant and people who are passionate and semi-trained over somebody who is really well-trained and maybe just not the best fit. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that even though it looks like we'll probably be in this property for another year or so, we are quickly outgrowing this space, and we want a space that has spring water or really good clean water available. That's a must for all of the fermentation work and other things that we do. Also, that has dormitory space, that has laboratory space. Ideally, there would be a kitchen in or near the laboratory as well. Plenty of storage space, plenty of open land that is farmable and able to perform lots of agricultural pursuits on there, and so many other different types of things. If you or somebody you know owns a property like this and would be interested in having the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy at your place, or selling the place to us, or whatever else, we're open to that, but we want to put it out there because we have found a number of different properties over the years, but they are so wildly expensive with the way that real estate is right now, that to be able to find a place that suits us, that is even somewhat feasible, has proven to be very difficult, largely because of the enormous down payments and the monthly payments going in. And it would take us, probably months to be able to move from one location to another and keep all of our operations going. There's a very perfect fit, and the only way that I think that we can actually manifest this right now is with your help. So again, if you or somebody you know has a property or would be interested in having the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy there and on site, please don't hesitate to let us know. But it's got to be pretty big, like at least 3,600 square feet, and the majority of that just for business purposes. So I think that about covers it. I always think about things after I record these things to talk about, but that should do the trick. If you have any questions, you know how to reach out to us. And just once again, thank you so much for all of your support of the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy and for supporting our continual growth and development over here. We truly appreciate it. We're looking forward to this next chapter.